Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Well, hello, boys and girls. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood here at the Pest Control Marketing Podcast and Pest Control Marketing.live. This is Hal Coleman, your co-host. Mike Stewart is the other co-host, and we're here to help you get more new customers, make more money, grow your business. Someday enjoy that retirement that you so richly deserve and want and dream about. Like Mike and I are doing. Isn't that right, Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did I tell you that I got a good gig now playing music on the weekend, something I put off. The last time I did a one-man show gig, I figured it up, was when my daughter Ellen was 2 years old. It's been 40 years since I've gone out and had me a gig. But, I'm not getting any younger. I do pest control marketing during the week, but now on the weekends, I'm back to playing live music again, and I love it. I know you've been doing it for a while.
Well, you do things out of the fact that you love them. And sometimes, what money does when you have a flow of good cash, whether it be residual income or it be, fair pay for your time, it gives you freedom to do things that you don't worry about the money. I mean, I don't like doing music and not getting paid, even though the truth is I enjoy it so much, I don't worry about getting paid. But it sure is fun to see the smiles on people's faces, having a crowd of people. There's something about being on stage and people listening to you and enjoying you and having a good time that just, it's an energy that I'm still very much enamored with since I was a kid. And, it makes me feel like a kid again. So
yeah,
that's why I do it. And, and we get a little bit of money. It ain't, it's not a living, but it's a passion. But, we're talking about money here. I know you said before we started the show that you wanted to talk about, making wise decisions to spend money to make money. And let's spend a few minutes on that. I mean, I've got some opinions, but you go ahead and kick it off there.
Well, and the biggest, I've worked now full time for 15 years teaching PCOs and WCOs how to make more money. That's basically, that's just simply put. You can say grow your business, increase your revenue. That's just make more money. Okay, that's what I teach them how to do. And I cannot tell you over the last 15 years how many free 1-hour sessions that I have actually completed with people that called me up and took me up on it. They're hungry to grow their businesses. They're moving along at a slow pace or not moving at all, or they're not moving as fast as they would like to move. And they have watched our podcast. The typical line I hear, I've been watching your podcast for a couple of years now, and I've decided that I want to work with you. But it's almost like they're amazed when they find out that we charge money to do that. In a way, it's like, I have, some people are very almost offended when you suggest they should advertise, especially on Facebook. I'm a member of a lot of pest control marketing Facebook groups. Pest control, not just marketing, but pest control operators Facebook groups, not only in the United States, but in Australia and UK. And I've worked with companies in Canada and had clients in those countries. And one of the things that I hear people say when I make comments or offer up suggestions about how to increase your sales ability of marketing. And it's almost as hostile a lot of times as, I don't advertise. You don't need to advertise if you take good care of your customers. That's all you have to do, is take good care of your customers, and they'll take care of you. Now that is a true statement. Not at all challenging. That is 100% true. If you take care of your customers, they'll take care of you. But you can only grow so much by just taking care of your customers. That's a very when you start out, if you start out with no customers and you're a one-man operator with no customers, you get one customer and then you get two or three, then you get four or five, and your business can grow pretty good just taking care of customers. You're going to reach a point. You're going to reach a point in where your growth is going to stop. And if you're a one-man operator and you want to stay a one-man operator, then when it stops and you get a full load and you're taking care of those customers and they're taking care of you, they're going to refer you to some people, and then some of them are going to move and die or not be able to afford you. So you're going to lose some, you're going to win some, but you're going to stay. You get a full load and you're a one-man operator, and that's great. But if you want to grow your business, if you want to get it into a 15, 20, 30, even a 40% annual growth, and you have a dream of going from a one-man operator up into build 1 million, 2 million, 10 million business, whatever you want to build, and someday sell it and retire and own a sailboat and a condo on the beach and travel and take cruises and not have to worry about anything. You cannot do that simply from the concept of just taking care of customers and they'll take care of you. You're going to have to advertise. You're going to have to spend money to get more customers to take care of you, and in turn, they will take care of you, but you're going to have more and more and more. You're going to have to get that growth rate kicked up, and there's no other way to do it besides spending money on advertising to reach people out there in your community or in your service area that don't have any clue who you are. They don't know any of your customers, and they don't know you. So taking care of your customers is not going to reach those people. So you're going to have to invest in advertising. That's all there is to it. And we just talked, I think in our last podcast episode, we had a guest on, Daryl Lee, who used to own Future Services, and he's quite an entrepreneur. He's a really smart guy. I've known him for over 20 years, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And we kind of talked about this subject in our last podcast. There's a right way to advertise and there's a wrong way to advertise. If you understand how advertising works and you spend money on advertising, you can get a lot of new customers. If you don't, you can spend a lot of money on advertising and get nothing in return. And it's not the advertising agents that you need to listen to teach you what works and what doesn't, because they know how to sell one thing really well, and that is advertising. So I've talked with advertising agents in the past, and I start talking about psychological buying response triggers and the law of reciprocity, these things, and it's like you're speaking Greek to them. They don't have a clue what I'm talking about. And I dealt with them in the past and years back when I was in the early days of having my business and trying to grow it. I spent money with advertising agents, rich advertising agents who had big businesses. And I figured, well, they must know what they're doing. They did. They sold me a lot of advertising. And I got nothing in return for it. Well, looking back now, I can tell you exactly why I didn't get any return. I know those things because I've not only been through it myself, but I've studied psychological marketing and advertising, direct response marketing, hypnotic writing, buying response triggers, emotional calls to actions, deals with deadlines. It could go on and on about things that make advertising work. It doesn't work, but if you're not willing to spend money on advertising, that goes for coaching too. I mean, like you and I both have decades of experience learning what works and what doesn't work. So if somebody wants to experiment out there, that's okay, but I've got an entire treasure chest of things that work. And you don't have to experiment with them. They simply work. With every company I've ever worked with, they work. And yes, I charge money to teach you those things.
Yeah.
Once you learn those things, you can kick your business up into a growth pattern and get it rolling down the road, and then you'll be looking and say, boy, I grew my business 42% last year. And up to that point, it was growing at about 5% a year or 10% a year. If you want to grow your business, you're going to have to, if you're going to build that, you're going to have to spend some money on advertising. You're going to have to spend some money on educating yourself, learning how to sell, learning how to market. It's just a fact. And that's really all I want to talk about today. If you're listening to this podcast and you think that you're going to grow your dream business, a big business, without ever spending any money on advertising and marketing, it's not going to happen. You can keep it small, be a one-man operator, maybe with one employee or two, but if that's where you want to stay, and there's nothing wrong at all with staying there, if that's where you want to be. It's all about being where you want to be. But if where you want to be is on that tropical island out there for a few weeks with your family and not worry about money and being financially independent, and you can't get there without spending some money. You just can't do it. Bottom line, that kind of sums up what I wanted to talk about today, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna say a few things, and I'm gonna wind it up here. Number one, if you're not willing to invest time and money, you won't grow your business. That is a statistic. You must invest time to learn what you need to do. You need to do it more efficiently. Every successful millionaire I ever met had a coach. They didn't look at it as a cost. They didn't look at advertising and coaching as a cost. I've had, well, I just think that costs too much. I can't budget that in there. I don't want to spend that money anymore. You don't understand. It's not a cost. It's an investment in your growth. And it's like a roller coaster. It's up one day and it's down the next. But it's the consistency of doing it right, knowing what to do. I don't know how many people say, well, what do you do for advertising? How do you generate new business? Well, word of mouth really works good for me. Great. Word of mouth is not going to stop if you take care of your customers. Taking care of your customer means that people are going to say nice things about you, and word of mouth will work for you. But you know what? You have zero control over word of mouth. There's nothing you can do other than take care of your customers. But when you need money coming in that month, word of mouth is not going to work for you. But paid advertising and knowing what to do works every day of the year, 365. So in other words, if you need more business because it's a slow month, you can up your advertising. You can spend more time creating content. You can go to more networking meetings. You can update the size of the letters on your truck. There's 1,000 little things you could do if you knew what to do. But sitting back and saying, I'm going to let it's kind of like I'm thirsty, and I know it's going to rain someday, but I'm thirsty right now. But if I just wait long enough, it'll rain on me and I'll get a drink of water. No, I'm talking about putting in a pump, finding a reservoir, having a cooling system and a purification system, and getting that water to your glass when you want it, when you need it.
Drilling a well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what advertising and coaching will do for your business. And if I hear one more time, well, word of mouth works great for me, then you don't want to grow your business. You just want to be stuck with whatever gets handed your way, and that's okay. And if word of mouth keeps you busy enough to work, but you're never going to build a $10 million, $1 million, $2 million business unless you advertise. Now, here's what's interesting about some of our clients, Hal. I've got some people who said, well, this is just costing too much and I can't afford it. And they quit after 2 months, after 2 sessions, they quit. That's like going to Weight Watchers and dieting for 2 weeks and saying, well, I can't lose any weight with these people. because their program doesn't work. It didn't happen in 2 weeks. It's insane. It's a consistency. It's waiting it out. It's being honest with yourself. So
It's like going to the gym 3 times and looking in the mirror and saying, "I don't look any different."
yeah, well, I quit. So the thing is consistency and persistence is what you've got to do when it comes to investing, not spending money. It is not a cost. It is an investment in growing your business. If you say you want to grow your business and you want to make more money someday, you've got to do paid advertising. You got to spend time creating content. And more importantly, you've got to take, you got to take action. You got to move with your feet. You got to go out. You got to put out door hangers. You got to canvas up and down I heard Daryl talk about how he would go to the strangers next door and cold call and knock on the door and hand them a coffee mug with his and a potato chip holder. I mean, he spent money on
those. He spent money on those things, and he talked about the conversion he got from customers who said, "Thank you. Where do I sign up?" Yeah,
advertising is not a cost. Advertising is an investment that it's when you do it properly. And here's why people get scared with advertising, Hal, and this will be my final comment, is they were sold on doing something that was branding and image. They were sold that this is what you need to do. You need to build a brand in your market. Let me tell you something. Dan Kennedy said it, and advertising agents and graphics people and web producers, and they all argue with me. And I remember you had a Yellow Page person argue with you that's
God. Told me I might as well flush my. When I showed him the ad and I'd been with this that advertising agency for 15 or 16 years, had been the same guy. And I started out with a 1/4-page ad and end up with a double truck ad. That's when you open it up, it's both pages. And I finally, after studying Dan Kennedy and learning about response triggers, I redesigned my own ad. It took all the color away. It was nothing but black ink on a yellow page. And I reduced it from a double truck ad down to a 1/2-page ad. And when I showed him the ad I wanted to put in the Yellow Pages, he laughed and told me I might as well flush my money down the toilet. He said, nobody was going to read that. No, he said, Hal, trust me, I've been in this business 24 years. You can't do this.
Well,
bottom line, to shorten it up, I did it, or else I threatened to not do. I wasn't going to do the Yellow Pages anymore. I did it. He put the ad in there, and my return on my investment went up just a little bit over 300%.
Well, you see, the thing is Dan Kennedy was quoted on stage, and I heard it with my own ears. If you're a small business, you're not Coca-Cola, you're not Delta Airlines, you're not McDonald's hamburgers, you're not Burger King. Those are brands. Okay? They're big national brands.
It took 100 years and $1 billion to build that brand.
Absolutely. You need response, direct response. And you start with direct response advertising, and then you'll become a brand in a market. But you don't need to worry about a brand in a market. You need to worry about the phone ringing with new business. And that's why direct response marketing advertising is what Dan Kennedy said. He said, you cannot afford to be a brand if you're a small business. You have got to take the time to learn direct response, because if you try to get a response off of branding, you're going to get 0 phone calls. You're just going to get people going, well, that's nice. Oh, what it's these websites. Oh, look at that happy family sitting on the front yard having a picnic. Isn't that nice? They don't get that, oh, that happy family is having a bug-free picnic. No, what they need to know is that you guarantee if they got a problem, you're going to solve it, and you're going to prove it. And you're going to say, call me and I will take care of your problem. You ask for the order. So at any rate, with all that being said, just because you invest in advertising, the type of advertising you talk about in the days of Yellow Pages, you got the ad wrong, you were stuck with it for a year. In this day and age of advertising to the cell phone, which is what the internet, that's where 95% of the people in the world find local business services on their cell phone. So you're advertising a cell phone. If something doesn't work, you can stop it today and try something different tomorrow. That's the difference. And so what happens is advertising works when it's done right. It's not a cost. It's an investment. And I teach what's called the local big three. In fact, I have two kinds of clients. People that I tell them what to do. They refuse to do it. They quit in 2 months. And quite honestly, I'm going to say something offensive here. Good riddance. If you're not willing to do what it takes to win, don't waste my time. I mean, if that sounds nasty, that's how passionate I am about it. I am so tired of whiners, complainers, and spit eaters, or whatever you call it.
Snot eaters.
Snot eaters. Do the local big three. If you don't know how to do the local big three, get in touch with me and Hal. Hal knows the offline world way of building your business. I know the online. And it's these three things right here: Google reviews, content marketing, and paid ads. And I created something called a SERP turn jingle, which you probably don't know what that is. Well, call me and I'll spend an hour explaining it to you. So here's our phone numbers. That's all I got to say. I'm on my soapbox today. You can call me at 770-826-3662. That's my cell phone. Call me anytime. 770-826-3662. If I'm on a call with somebody else, leave me a message. I'll call you right back. And Hal I'll spend an hour with you explaining to you how all these things work and giving you a review of what's going on. If you're serious. If you're not serious, don't call. But if you're serious and you want to know what me and Hal have done, I got several customers that say, please, Mike, don't ever quit doing what you do for me. I asked him the other day, I'm not going to name names because I'm going to keep it a little confidential. I said, since we started working together, me, you, and Hal, what have you gone? He says, well, I was doing about 125,000 a year, and I'm going to break over close to 600,000 this year in less than 2.5 years. Quadrupled his business. I said, are we paying for ourselves? Oh my God, you're more than paying for yourself. You see, you know why? Because he did what we told him to do. He didn't quit. He didn't whine. He didn't complain. He knows it's an investment. It's not a cost. And if you want Hal to do the same thing for you, call him at 770-993-0004. Hal told me that when you read off a phone number, do it slow. Good news is about this podcast, you can rewind it and play it over and over again. 770-993-0004. Make his phone ring. You want to grow your business? You know why we do this? Because we love it. I don't want to sit around and do nothing all day long. I could, but I enjoy it when we win. I like winners. I like being a part of winners, and winners know they have to. Some of my mentors said, the fastest way to win is buy your way to finding your customers with direct response marketing, and that's what we do. All right, Hal, I think there's another show here.
Well, let's wrap it up. I think we made the point, Mike. And so, folks, thank you for listening to this episode, yet another one of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast, pestcontrolmarketing.live. And listen, if you have a subject you would like for us to cover on our Pest Control Marketing Go Facebook page, make a comment. If you're watching this on Facebook, make a comment. Tell us what subject you'd like for us to cover. And you can reach out to us. Make us. We want this to be about you. So let us know what you want to talk about. Until the next time, Mike, I will see you. And folks, have a great day.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Google Pest Control, marketer, grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.